Welcome, everyone. I'm Tari, the founder of Yoga4Cancer, and I welcome you into my home studio. And I also want you to know that I am going to be assisted by Dale, who is in her home studio. And we want you to feel comfortable in this yoga practice. I'm not sure who is watching, but if you are new to Yoga4Cancer, I would like you to know that we use many props in this particular practice. I'm sitting on a cushion I took off my rocking chair with a blanket on top of it. And Dale is sitting in a regular chair. So this is however you feel comfortable to start our practice here. I also would suggest that maybe you could use our yoga blocks with a blanket on top of it, would serve as a nice bolster to sit on. And then I want to just let you know that I am not using yoga blocks to comfort my thighs. I'm using CD covers that I've taped together. 6 of them is all it takes. So you can have all the yoga props you need at home. So make yourself comfortable. And the reason for sitting on something is that it helps us lift our spine. It helps us be comfortable and tall. It helps us find the foundation of our body, which is the spine. Our first few moments of movement and breath will be to warm up and keep spinal health. But before that, I want to focus on breathing. And the first thing I want you to all do from your comfortable seat is bring the palms of your hands together. In yoga, we talk a lot about breathing. And I just want to make sure that we understand it's not about how big your breath is or how long it is, but rather how pure it is. When we breathe in, the lungs expand. And when we breathe out, the lungs empty, but we come closer into the center. So breathing in, expand like a balloon. Breathing out, come to that center foundation point in our body. It's not how big that breath is to bring in air to the lungs, but it is the quality. And then the final exhale to bring your foundation together. So let's take our hands now and place them on our thighs. And then maybe place them down on your bolster or onto the sides of your chair and then onto the floor. So we can feel what's on the sides of our body. We'll start again with our hands in prayer. And as we breathe in, we move our prayer hands straight up towards the ceiling, elongating and creating health in our spine. Exhale and bring your right hand down onto your bolster or the floor or your chair. Inhale again, elongate, and as you exhale, side bend to the right. Synchronizing breath and movement. Inhale, both arms up. And this time the left hand goes down. Inhale, elongate the spine. And exhale, side bending to the left. Elongate both arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, come into this sort of classic Yoga4Cancer pose, which is called cactus arms. We're going to stay here with our arms in cactus and inhale. Lift the chest, take a little tiny back bend. As you exhale, bring your palms and elbows together and take a little forward bend. In breath brings us all the way up again, and exhaling those palms right into that prayer hands right in front of your heart. So what we just did was move the spine in 5 directions to create the spinal health. This is very important for us when we are managing and stimulating and helping our immune system stay strong, because it is the immune system that is fed by everything that flows through the spine. So let's do that again a little more quickly, 2 times. Inhale, bring the arms up, elongating the spine, 1. Exhale, right hand down. Elongate first, and then side bend on your exhale over to the right. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, bring that left hand down. Elongate and side bend to the left. Inhale, both arms up, and with a long, clear exhale, come into cactus pose. An in-breath will open the chest, and the exhale will bring our palms together in front of our heart. Inhale brings us all the way back up, elongating again, and we'll go right to the other side. Exhale, right hand down. Elongate and side bending, feeling a nice stretch over there on that left side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bring the left hand down. Elongate, stretching spine, clearing the highway for breath. Exhaling to the left side. Inhale, back to center. And as you exhale, come into cactus pose. The in-breath brings us into a little back bend, and the exhale brings us forward into a little forward bend. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up and back home again, hands to prayer in front of our heart. So we've stimulated not only the cardiovascular system, but the lymph system, and really made all of our muscles feel nice and strong. I'd like to do it again, but I'm on a clock here, so I will move to our hands and knees. So as we do that, Dale is going to move her chair and come onto her hands and knees. Take your time in doing this for yourself. You might want to use a blanket underneath your knees, and also take those blocks, whether they are CD blocks or they are regular yoga blocks, put them to the front of your mat. And then center yourselves, your shoulders right underneath your, right over your wrists, and your knees right underneath your hips. So we start in cat and cow by first taking that in-breath, lifting the tailbone, but not the head. Just keep it looking straight down at the floor. As you exhale, we arch the spine, releasing the breath into what we call cat. But at the same time, we are stroking our lymph system. Inhale again. The inhale lifts the tailbone, looking forward, and find those shoulder blades coming together on your back body. Exhale is when we come into our cat pose. And the exhale is what actually helps us keep our immune system strong. Inhale, one more like that, Dale. Good. And exhale, coming into our cat pose. Now, the next breath, we are going to use the inhale to find what we call a flat back. So the crown of the head is going forward, the tailbone is going back. And on an in-breath, keeping all of this steady, except our right leg. We're going to bring the right leg back behind us and keep the toes on the floor. Good. Here we combine it with breath again. Another inhale to elongate that right leg, and use the exhale to bring that right knee and nose together in front of your mat. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, nose and knee together. Last one. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, nose and knee together. So bring that right knee down next to the left, and we'll try the other side, starting with an in-breath. So the inhale takes that left leg back, reaching through the heel, and the out breath rounds the spine as we stroke the lymphatic ducts in our body. Inhale, bring that right leg back, and exhale, bring it together. All this weight on our arms is stimulating our cardiovascular system to hold us up strong and helping the lymph move through the body, improving our immune system. And now put that left knee next to the right, and we're going to add in a little twist, which we will call by the name, it's called Thread the Needle. And it starts with an inhale with the right arm up towards the ceiling, feeling a rotation of those left ribs underneath you. And as you exhale, bring that right hand underneath behind the left wrist. Maybe the shoulder comes to the ground or not, but right away. Inhale again. We're really moving all sorts of muscles in the body so that our cardiovascular system is getting well stimulated. Exhale brings it down and creates a little crunch feeling. Inhale one more, Dale. Bring that left arm, right arm up, and exhale. The right hand comes down. Let's do one cat and cow here. Inhale, lift the tailbone. Exhale, rounding the spine. And then we will come to neutral. Long spine, and start with the in-breath on the left arm, reaching up towards the ceiling. Exhale, sliding it underneath. The head does not need to come down. Dale's does easily, but if you only get halfway there, that's okay. Inhale, bring it up, and exhale again, as far down as your shoulder and your head can come. Inhale, bringing it up. And last one, let's bring that left hand down onto the floor. And starting here, we're going to do a variation of what I call puppy pose, which is walk your knees back away from your wrist just a little bit. Keep them but you want to create a little bit more distance. And on an in-breath, bring your chest forward towards your blocks just a little bit. As you exhale, pull the hips back. It's that exhale that creates a crease in our hips, which helps move lymph through our body. Critical part of the immune system. Inhale, coming forward. Combining breath and movement. Exhale, bringing those hips back towards the heels. They don't need to touch, just a little bit back towards your heels. Last one like this. Inhale, forward, and exhale, bringing the hips back. Then come to neutral. Walk your knees back into that position underneath. And we're going to reach for our blocks, keeping them on the high side. And we're working towards a pose called gate pose. And the first gate we're going to use, let's keep the left hand where it is and bring the right leg out to the side in your right block. Now walk your left block onto your left side, right next to your left thigh. There you go. Okay. And that should make you feel nice and secure. To release your right hand so you can bring it up towards the ceiling. Onto your hip may be a good start. Reach up towards the ceiling. Let's take an inhale here. And then on your exhale, side bending over to that left side. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, upright, reaching through that right heel. Exhale, side bending over to the left. 1 more like that. Inhale, up, and then exhale, side bend and zip up the front of your body into that solid back. Inhale, back to center. And let's just do one where we creep that right hand down onto the right thigh and reach the left arm straight up towards the ceiling. Maybe tuck it behind your head. Inhale, reach that left elbow up towards the ceiling and take a little tiny side bend over to the right if you slide your right hand down. Inhale, both arms straight up, point towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, left hand to left block, right hand to right block. Bring both knees together. And we'll do the other side. So let's start with taking our left leg out to the side and walking that right block underneath your right shoulder. And then releasing if you're feeling steady and strong in that left leg. The left arm comes up to the hip. And then using an inhale, reach it up over your left ear, side bending on an exhale over to the right. Inhale, bring the body and torso up, using the breath. Exhale, side bending over to the right. Reach through that left heel. Really feel the stretch in that whole left side of your body. Inhale up almost like you're giving yourself a massage all up and down that left side of your body. Come back up. And this time we will bring the left hand onto the left thigh and anchor it there slightly. See if you can bring the right arm towards the ceiling. Tuck it behind your head. Using the movement of breath and movement now, lift the right elbow up and slide the left hand down your left leg as you take one side bend over, opening up that right side. And let's find both our hands onto the blocks as you come up to center. Walk those blocks forward. And we're going to walk them forward underneath our shoulders. So we're preparing now for what we call our seesaw pose, which is a really great way to move with the breath. But the first breath is our right leg. It goes straight back behind you, keeping the toes on the floor. Don't lift it up. Keep it right there. Now, that was an inhale. Feel the chest coming forward, nose coming forward. That puts your heart is in front of your nose, which is one of the strongest principles of yoga for cancer. Inhale again, reaching back with that right heel because I was doing a lot of talking. Exhale brings that right foot forward, right between the blocks. Okay, now we're ready here to do a seesaw. As you breathe in, bring your heart forward of your nose and your right knee might come forward a bit. As you breathe out, straighten that right leg as much as possible. It doesn't need to be as runner stretch, just a little bit. Inhale, coming forward. Let's do that 3 more times. The exhale always brings you back, as far back as you can go without moving your foot. Inhale, come forward. And the last one, exhale, bringing it as far back as it will go. Then an in-breath, come to neutral. Right knee over right ankle and bring your knees together on the plank. We'll do the left side. As you inhale, straighten that right and left leg back behind you. Now, I'm not going to talk this time. Exhale, bringing that left foot forward between the blocks. Right between the blocks, not behind or in front, right between. The in-breath now, heart comes forward of the nose. It's the heart that leads, and it's the exhale that straightens that left leg as much as possible. In-breath coming forward. Exhale, bring that hip back. And another forward like that. Exhale and bring the hip back. This in-breath, as the heart comes forward, the left knee settles right over the left ankle. And now we're going for a really big move. We're going to tuck our right toes under. And using an inhale, straighten that right leg without moving the left knee. Looking forward, heart is reaching forward in front of the nose. Exhale, straighten that left leg. It's the exhale that's the power tool. Inhale, move forward with the left knee slightly, bringing the heart with you. And the exhale, again, a big stretch in that left leg. Legs are both straight and strong. Inhale, one more. Seesaw in a high lunge like that. And exhale, bring it back. Then find neutral with that left knee. Bring the right knee down onto the mat and we'll switch legs. So on an inhale, that left leg goes back and gets nice and strong. Oh, the left leg first. There you go. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. See, even the teacher makes mistakes. That's what I wanted, the right leg back. And as you exhale, bring it forward between the blocks. Inhale, coming forward. And lengthen that left leg. Strong right knee over right ankle. Let's seesaw back and forth. The in-breath brings you forward. The exhale, straighten both legs. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale and straighten. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, straighten. Now, make sure you're coming forward with your heart and your inhale, and find the exhale to now bring that left foot forward between the blocks. Lower your hips, lift your heart. Let the heart lead you all the way up to stand. And here we are in Tadasana, standing tall. And Dale, I want you and everybody at home to just focus on bending your knees, keeping your heart in front of your nose. Bend just a little bit. Good. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend a little deeper. Heart in front of the nose. Look at that. Nice. Inhale, straighten. And now this time, as you inhale, we're going to come up to stand. As you exhale, you're going to reach for the blocks. On the exhale, bend the knees, reach for the blocks. Is that good height for you, Dale, or do you think you need some more blocks? I think she's making a block tower a little bit higher so that her heart is really in front of her nose. Now with your hands on the blocks, yeah, let's see your heart in front of your nose. So everybody take a few minutes to make their block tower so you can have this chair position where the heart is in front of the nose, not the head drop. Dale, drop your head and put your head and nose in front. Not like this. This is not what we want. Heart in front of nose, knees bent, hands to blocks. Good. All right. Now, let's step right into our first sun salutation. On an inhale, turn your palms out, reach your arms straight up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bend in the knees and place your hands on the blocks. On an in-breath, take your right leg back behind you. On an out-breath, bring that right knee to the floor. On an inhale, sweep your arms out to the side and up towards the ceiling. The out-breath brings them down onto the blocks. The in-breath lengthens that right leg, and the out-breath brings it forward. Hips down, heart lifts, inhale, fly up. And as you exhale, bend the knees and place your hands on the blocks. We'll do the side, left leg, inhale it back. Exhale, left knee to the floor. The in-breath sweeps the arms all the way up, saluting the sun. This is our modified sun salutation. The exhale brings them down onto the blocks. The in-breath lengthens that left leg, and the powerful exhale brings you forward. Heart in front of nose. Inhale, fly up. And exhale. Let's take one breath in Tadasana, standing tall. And what we're going to do here is another form of a warm-up vinyasa. I want you to have things that you can do on your own at home. So we're going to do a standing warm-up. So Dale, maybe you can just sort of face the camera just a little bit. And what we'll do is rotate your thumbs out, palms up towards the ceiling, and inhale, bring your arms all the way up. As you exhale, cradle the back of your skull and let your head just fall back, and that feels so comforting and nice to have something hold our head up. It's been working really hard these days, so let's give it a little rest and comfort there. Okay, now with an in-breath, I'm going to open my chest and look slightly up towards the ceiling, letting my head rest. As I exhale, I'm going to bring my elbows together and sort of dip them down towards my navel. Inhale, open wide, elbows away from each other, and keep the hands where they are. Exhale and side bend over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, back to center. Keep holding that skull, but as you exhale, twist to the right. The in-breath brings you back to center, and the exhale brings you to a twist to the left. In-breath, back to center. Stretch the arms up towards the ceiling one more time. And as you exhale, cradle that skull again. Maybe take the opposite interlace of your hands. 5 ways to move the spine. The first one is a little back bend, resting your head in the cradle of your hands. The exhale is a forward bend, elbows towards your navel. Inhale back to a nice open chest without looking up. But as you exhale, side bend right. Inhale to center, side bend left. Inhale, center. Exhale and twist right. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist left. In-breath brings you center and elongate those arms again. That's the first way to move the spine. The exhale brings our little cradle to the back of our neck. And the next second way is a back bend, so we lift the heart as we inhale. The third way is the exhale, which rounds the spine forward. The in-breath elongates us again, elbows separate. But as we exhale, a side bend to either side. Moving in these 5 directions, you can do center on the inhale, exhale on the bend, inhale back to center, and as you exhale, twisting, inhale center, exhale twisting the opposite direction. And then come back to center, elongate. Something you can get up off of your computer and walk around and do a little bit of a warm-up of 5 directions of the spine. Now we're going to go back onto our hands and knees. Placing the blocks nicely in front of you with your block towers all ready to go. Stand between your block tower and on an in-breath, sweep those arms out and up. On an exhale, bend your knees and find your block towers. On an in-breath, take your right leg back behind you. Bring your right knee to the floor. Good, okay. So we're going to take the left arm out and up towards the ceiling. And take a little bit of a side bend over there to the right side. Inhale back to center and place the left hand on your left block. Okay. On an in-breath, lengthen that right leg. Stretch it up. Okay, keep leaning into the left side of your body. And on an in-breath, turn the right heel down to the floor. Exhale, zip up your core. And on your next in-breath, bring the right arm straight up towards the ceiling. Use an exhale to bring that right arm over your right ear into a side angle pose. Tuck your right hand behind your neck, cradle it like we were doing standing. Inhale, lift the right elbow. Now, as you exhale, dip that right elbow towards the right block and pulling your navel in. That's where we zip our core together. Inhale, we'll do that 2 more times. Reach it up towards the ceiling and exhale, pointing it towards the block. 1 more like that. Inhale, lifting it up and exhale, pointing it down towards the block. Now this time, as you inhale, lift the elbow up, lift the arm up, elongate it, stretch it out there. 1 breath here to exhale and zip up your core right in the middle. Next in-breath brings you all the way up, cartwheeling your arms into warrior 2 position. Great. She's opening up her chest towards the long side of her mat. Arms are straight. Let's inhale and reach through those fingertips down. As you exhale, straighten that left leg. Keep your arms out. We're going to do a little vinyasa pranayama here with our hands. This is finding it very helpful to lymphedema. As you inhale, legs are strong and straight. Reach through your fingertips and make them long too. As you exhale, make a fist with your hands. 2 more like that. Inhale, reach to the fingertips. Exhale, make fists. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, make the fist. And then strong legs still. Bring your arms right out in front of you as if you were a scarecrow arms, right straight out in front of you, fingertips long, parallel to the shoulders. Inhale, reach the fingers out. Exhale, make fists. Inhale, reach them out. Exhale, make fists. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, find your fists. And then reaching the arms straight up towards the ceiling, fingers open. As you exhale, make a fist. Two more like that. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, fists. You can't see Dale's hands, but her fingers are stretching on the inhale, and exhale, she makes a fist. Now, next in-breath, Dale, bend deeply in your left knee and bring your arms out to either side back to warrior two. And as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down onto your blocks, block towers. Inhale, lift the right heel, and it's the exhale that is going to bring her forward with that right foot. Hips go down, heart lifts, inhale, flying up. And exhale, one breath and standing tall. Sweep the arms out and up, turning the palms up. Deep bend in the knees, exhaling, hands to block towers. This time we take the left leg back. And we're going to bring the left knee down onto the floor. Oh, we're going to do a side bend first. Okay, good. Keep your left hand where it is and bring your right arm straight up towards the ceiling, doing a little side bend there from seated, from hands and knees. Exhale and bring that right arm down. Now, strong left leg. Inhale, lengthen it. Good. Exhale, turn that left heel to the floor. And using an in-breath to sweep that left arm straight up towards the ceiling. Let the exhale bring it over your left ear. Inhale again. And exhale, tuck that left hand, cradling the skull. With the exhale, you're going to zip up the front of the body and dip the elbow down. Reaching back strong with that inhale, and each time on the left foot, the inhale brings you up, and the exhale points the elbow down towards the floor. Inhale, one more like that. Exhale, pointing it towards the block. Now this time as you inhale, lift the elbow, lift the arm. Stay one breath here as you exhale and get strong in the support of that right leg. And the next in-breath brings your arms up parallel to the floor, facing the long side of your mat. One more elongation, Dale. Stretch the fingers out. And then as you exhale, straighten just your right leg. Leave your arms where they are. And we will do this little sort of vinyasa massage of the lymph system as we breathe in. I've noticed this being very helpful to managing lymphedema. Exhale, make a fist. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, make a fist. It's the pumping of lymph with the breath in our open spine, but it's also the movement of all those muscles in our arm that help manage the movement of lymph through our upper torso. Now bring your arms forward. You'll be able to see Dale nicely here. As you inhale, bring your shoulder blades together on your back. Legs are strong. Stretch the fingers. Exhale, making fists. Two more on your breath. The in-breath stretches. The out-breath brings it together. One more. Inhale and exhale. And then let's lift and use gravity. Lift our arms straight up towards the ceiling and movement with our breath. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, make that fist. So we're using all these elements, inhaling and releasing the breath. That pumps lymph into the center of the body. Inhale elongates, and the exhale does a lymph pump. But gravity is working on these arms also to help manage our lymphedema. The next in-breath, Dale, reach out with your arms and put a deep bend in that right knee, coming back into warrior two. Let's do it. Exhale here to find our core strength, and then inhale, and then cartwheeling your hands on the exhale onto your blocks. In-breath lifts the left heel, and the exhale brings both feet together in the front of your mat. And let your heart lift and your tailbone drop as you fly all the way up to stand. And exhale one breath in Tadasana. So we're going to move to a balancing pose, because balancing in the Yoga for Cancer methodology is really important for building bone. That is, for many decades now, we've known that bone building is weight bearing. So we're going to step back from the block tower, Dale. So you might need to move your blanket. Step back sort of a body's length. Don't move the towers, just leave them there. And stand in front of them so that you can place your hands on the block and your back is in a tabletop position. It's flat to the floor. Beautiful. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with our right leg. So let's take the right toes back and leave them on the floor. So they're still touching the floor. The right leg is back, but the toes are on the floor. And with an in-breath, put a little bend in that left knee, a little bend in the left knee. And then as you exhale, straighten the left leg and let the right leg stay straight so the right foot floats up off the floor as well. Good. And we're going to stay here and pulse this, building bone, building muscle, and moving the breath without the force of gravity. Inhale, bend the left. Exhale, straighten as that left hip rises up. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Another bend. Exhale and straighten. Good. One more. Inhale is the bend. The exhale is our power tool, pumping lymph and making our muscles strong. Now bring both feet together, Dale, and we'll do the left side. So just start with taking that left toes back just a little bit, keeping them on the floor. Good. And bending with an inhale that right leg. Exhale and straighten that right leg as the left leg floats up. It can float up as much as it wants. It doesn't need as high as Dale's. Inhale, bend right. Exhale, straighten, reaching through the crown of the head, the left heel. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. And then bringing both feet together. And bending it needs a little bit so you can come up to standing tall. Yeah, walking your hands up your thighs works well. So what we're going to do now is get sort of situated on the floor to do some things down on the floor. But before that, let's put a bolster or stacked blankets at the back of your mat. And then come between your blocks again, Dale. On an inhale, we're going to do a step down. So this is an easy, safe way to get up and down. Turn your thumbs out. Inhale and lift your arms up. And as you exhale, deep bend in the knees, hands onto your blocks. Right leg, bring it back. Gently bring that right knee to the floor. Inhale, take a breath here. And use an exhale to bring both knees together. And then walk your hips. Watch Dale as she walks her hips to one side, using her blocks to help herself get down onto the floor. She's going to come into a seated position on her mat. She could use the blankets behind her if she wanted to sit on, or she looks pretty comfortable there. If you're more comfortable seating on a blanket, do so. So what we're going to do first is what we call a a cat and cow, seated cat and cow. So she's going to take her left leg and bend it and put the left knee on the floor. And her right leg is going to, right knee come into her chest and tuck that right heel in front of the left foot. And then hold on really tightly to the front of her right shin. Real tight tuck there in the right hip. That is good for helping the lymph system to irrigate itself. So as you breathe in, you're going to pull that right shin into your chest, open up the chest, let that heart come forward, pull the shoulder blades together on your back. And as you exhale, a real deep exhale, rounding the spine and arching your head towards your knee. 2 more like that. Inhale. It's a little, what we call cat and cowing the spine from a seated position. Anchoring with that right thigh. 1 more on your own breath. The in-breath brings you forward. You feel that nice little tuck in your right hip, and the exhale gives you a release there. That creates a lymphatic massage. Then come to center, and let's switch the legs. So let's bring the right knee down onto the floor, and the left leg comes tucked, bent knee into the front of the chest. And holding on to that left shin, each inhale now, lifting the heart towards and pulling that left shin back, nice tuck in the left hip. Exhale is the release. So make it long and slow. The in-breath is an easy, and the out-breath is where we want to take our time and really stretch that back body. Last one here. Inhale and the exhale. And then Dale, let's we're going to go to supine now. So maybe you can stretch your legs out on the floor and put the blankets back to where they were off your mat behind you. We're going to be needing those later. And Dale is going to come onto her back, not by scooting on her elbows, but by sliding on her side and then rolling onto her back. So this might be an easier way from, sort of the way you get in bed at night, I would imagine, not on your elbows. And there she is, supine on her back. And the first thing we're going to do is take our right leg and bring it in towards our chest. Both knees are bent. And reaching with her left hand, she's going to find her right heel and then drag her right shin back and forth across her chest. So just sort of warming up that right hip. And then letting the right ankle next time rest on the top of the left thigh. So let it rest there, and then slide your hands. The right hand goes through the hole that you've made, and you bring that left shin in towards your chest, threading your right hand through the hole in the figure 4 in the middle. All right, now let's work with the breath here. On an inhale, straighten that left leg as much as possible. It doesn't have to be completely straight, but also let it come in a little closer towards your chest. That's an inhale. Exhale, draw it a little deeper. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring it towards your chest. Inhale, it comes up. Exhale towards your chest. And then lower that left foot down onto the floor. And we'll switch legs. So the right foot goes onto the floor, the left leg comes in towards your chest. You reach for the left heel with your right hand and rock that left shin back and forth across your chest. And let the left heel now, left ankle rest on top of the right shin. Draw that right knee in towards your chest, wrapping the left hand through the center of that hole. Inhale, lengthen the right leg. Exhale, let it move a little closer to your chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, move that right knee a little closer to the chest. One more like that. Lengthen. Right knee to the chest. And then let's bring both feet to the floor. Keeping your knees bent, let's place our hands on either side of the body and out to just a bit of a distance from the body. Let them feel palms down like there's sort of like little suction cups. Oh, before we do this, if you have a block close by, Dale, did you bring one of your blocks close by to you? Maybe onto the other side. Yeah, right there. So bring one block close by so it's ready for our bridge pose, our supported bridge pose. Section cup those palms into the floor. As you breathe in, let that balloon of your lungs lift the hips slightly, just slightly, doesn't matter how much. As you exhale, as slow as possible, let the tailbone reach towards your heels as the hips come down onto the floor. Pulse like that 2 more times. The in-breath is the flotation of your lungs upward, and the out-breath is a tightening of the inner core of your body as you lower the hips down to the floor. Now, one breath, lifting the hips, let them stay up, and slide that block on its lowest level underneath. Now, if this is not comfortable for you for any lower back issues that you might have, just stay with your back on the floor and continue with the slight little pulsing using your suction cup hands. But for those of you who do have a supported bridge, let's take our legs and lift them up towards the ceiling on an inhale. And if your legs are, your hamstrings are not as long as Dale's, you might, and they don't go straight, then bend your knees and see if you can just keep your knees in a bent knee position. And from here, we're going to do a real lymphatic massage of our lower torso. We're going to place our hands on our thighs. And as we inhale, we're going to feel our shoulder blades tighten underneath us. If you're just with your lower back on that spine, exhale and slide the hands to your hip creases. Inhale, reach again, as far up as you will go. Exhale, slide the hands to the hip creases. If your knees are bent, that's just fine. You can still reach your thighs. Inhale, hands reach. Exhale to the hip creases. And then bend your knees deeper and put your feet onto the floor. Find those suction cups again so you can inhale the hips up. Release one suction cup so you can remove that block, and then slowly lower your hips down onto the floor. So before we head towards our Shavasana, our final sunset pose, we're going to do a full body stretch. Here is where we can really not only move lymph with our breath, but we can move it with the muscles of our bodies. So I want everyone to make sure that they lengthen their legs out on an inhale to point their toes, and the arms go up overhead and rest with palms open on that bolster behind you. As you exhale, bring the arms down onto either side and point, just to keep the heels on the floor. Point the toes up towards the ceiling. Inhale, point toes, lift arms. Exhale, brings the arms down and releases the breath. As you exhale, the navel sinks to the floor. Inhale again. So keep going on your own breath. Stretch those toes. And the exhale is where we pull it all together in the center. Inhale, last one. And exhale, letting the breath pull the center into your body. So where we are now, as fully supine on the floor. You can take your time to make yourself a bit more comfortable. Maybe perhaps those blankets behind you would go under your thighs. Some people I know like to fold a blanket underneath the back of their neck. Wherever your usual Shavasana, sunset pose is, whatever you need to comfort yourself. Feel the back of your heels on the floor. And follow the back of your thighs as it arches up off the floor. Maybe you feel the calves of your legs on the floor. Maybe you feel your hips on the floor. I'm hoping that everyone feels their shoulders on the floor. And then slowly, if you are not already, with your palms facing up towards the ceiling, rotate those palms so they face the ceiling. Few things in life offer us the opportunity to simply be still, be in one place, and ask ourselves how we're feeling. Yoga offers us the tools to take ourselves deeper into just being who we are and how we are right now, in this one simple moment. I'm going to ask you now to take one palm of your hand and reach it towards your heart, and the other palm on top of it. Take the hand that is on top and reach it up towards your forehead, letting the back of the hand rest on the forehead. And the other hand resting right in the palm of that hand. Sort of mimicking how we supported the skull from the back in so many of the things that we're doing. Now we are supporting our forehead, the front of our head, with just the weight of our hands. I'm hoping that you will feel a comforting from this weight of your hands on your forehead. A way to calm thoughts. A way to settle. And now one at a time, take your hands and bring them out to the side of your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes, using your hands now to draw your knees in towards your chest. And allowing yourself to come up to sit. Any way you like. Sit with me. And as we brought our hands together, imitating the movement of the lungs as we breathe, expanding them out, and then exhaling, bringing them together. Bringing your breath inside, close and peaceful. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Dale, for your beautiful demonstration. Namaste.